Hello, good morning. There's a quote from Lord Tennyson. You've probably heard of it before, but maybe not his name. It is better to have loved and lost than to never have loved at all. He made this piece of a poem that he crafted for 7 after one of his closest friends died at a very young age. And you could relate this poem, this quote, to any romance, any lover, any friend, because at the end of the day, what is romance really? It's just a strong connection, a strong bond between two beings. And, I have to reflect on this quote sometimes because oftentimes I think about what I'm going through my romantic life and it really hurts. It really hurts to deal with heartbreak, right? 1 second, the dog's taking a poop. It really hurts to deal with heartbreak. It feels like your heart is being clawed from your chest every time you have to experience it. Somehow this emotion never becomes numbed after the second, third, or 12th time. But in some ways you could say you become adjusted to the pain, only in the sense that you know when it's coming and you're just willing to take it because you understand that the consequences of not taking it would mean the deprivation of yourself and some of the most intense, rewarding, and adventurous pain you'll ever experience in your life. And this is why we chase it, right? It's why we chase love. It's why we chase new adventures and friendships. It's why we keep pursuing that everlasting, mythic desire or yearning for someone that maybe is eternal, at least eternal for our lifespan. So, that being said, I had a potential partner that I spent a very romantic week or so with in Belgrade. They were just visiting, but we really hit it off. It was truly a strong physical connection. By all accounts, it felt like this person was made for me in this time in my life. I mean, were they made for me for eternity? I don't know. We didn't have a chance to figure that out. I was planning on visiting them in their hometown in Austria, but I think due to the distance primarily and just some, let's say, philosophical differences, they felt that maybe we weren't the best fit, which happens, right? I mean, sometimes you run across someone who is in many ways a phenomenal partner, but they just don't fit all the slots in the best way needed to maintain a relationship. Not the best way possible. You don't need a perfect partner. You don't need someone that fits the bill completely. But you do need someone that is compatible enough so that, waking up in the morning, existing in your day-to-day life, your menial life, combined with the more exciting parts of your life, feels fulfilling with that person. But if their philosophy or if their lifestyle is wholly different from something that you feel comfortable with, then obviously you're not going to be able to live such a life with somebody because, well, the entire time you're going to feel uncomfortable. You shouldn't feel uncomfortable for the entirety of your relationship. You should feel some level of ease with a partner. So, where do I stand? Well, I stand heartbroken. Or rather, I walk my dog heartbroken. And I'm really trying to consider, after I experience things like this heartbreak, I try to reflect on what I could have done differently. Is it just that this particular character and our story ended when it was supposed to, or was it that it ended prematurely? I think that's maybe the most important thing for me, because I really feel like although a realist understands that no relationship will last forever, you should also be capable of understanding that every relationship has a beginning and an end, and sometimes we cut them short. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm considering, was our story cut short? I believe it was. I believe out of fear for the potential of something very real, something that it was very mature for this person. There was a significant age difference, about 10 years. actually exactly 10 years, that maybe they felt like they were growing up too fast by dating me. Although simultaneously, they did want someone who was more mature. They even told me that they were attracted to my maturity. But being attracted to and then being capable of accepting and like living with are two different things, right? So they may have found that as an attractive trait, but maybe for the time being, they need to experience a few more youthful follies before they can feel comfortable dating someone who just has their shit together, which is fine. It's completely okay. Although I just wish it had a few more magical moments before it ended, that's all. But that's life, isn't it? I mean, oftentimes we feel like the party's been cut short, the cops are knocking, and then we have to go home. But yeah, this is life. This is life. We can't predict this. We can't predict when love comes upon us. I came upon this person at a boat party randomly in a crowd of people who were eyeing me, but they really stood out. And it was a magical evening. And the evening after that was magical too. And then the other 2 weeks were quite magical in themselves. But we can also never predict when they end. It's just the way of life. If I were a fortune teller, if I were a foreseer, then sure, I could probably predict a lot of heartbreak in my future. But would I avoid it? No. I would still pursue it. Because like I said before, that heartbreak, it completes the story. There's this beginning, usually beautiful, fresh, exciting. There's the middle part, sometimes aging, waning, stressful, sometimes more excitement, confusion, mystery. And then there's the inevitable end, which hopefully is amicable. Between me and her, it was quite amicable. I told her how I felt, how I hoped for her future, and if she decided to enter my life again, I welcome her with open arms. That being said, I would not wait on this person because there's just too much of life out there waiting for me to wait on someone who's chosen someone else. See what I mean? You should never do that, by the way. If you feel like you really care for someone, but they feel like they should be with someone else, let them be with someone else, right? Take your own path. Don't just sit there waiting for them to change their mind. That may never come. And even if it does come, do you want to be second fiddle? No. I mean, you can choose to take someone back if it feels right for in your life, but you shouldn't just wait patiently while they get bored of their first partner and then move on to you. There's much more to life for you to live than just to wait for someone else to finish their chapter. But that's enough of this babble. Adios, comrades.